we've been reporting on this story for the last couple of months. Let's go back to Smile Direct Club, if we shall. Remember, it was just a few months ago that they filed for a voluntary bankruptcy, and they've been trying to drum up enough funding to keep this puppy rolling. They've also had it on the market for purchase, and to date, there is no new buyer. So the deadline was November 23rd, and we have no buyer on the docket. So they're back to the drawing board about looking for funding. The founders are willing to throw in additional funding to clear some of the debt and also re-inject capital for 100% retake of the company. So it'll be interesting to see what the investors will do with this particular offer. Remember, the founders had also injected $20 million of capital just a few months ago to keep it afloat while it was looking for a buyer or trying to figure out next steps through this voluntary bankruptcy process. And now here we are at the end of that deadline, and they are offering to basically take back the company for about a $50 million investment. So we'll see if that is enough for the investors to kind of wipe their hands clean of the company. And also super interesting to see what the founders may have in store for the company to re-energize it and keep it going. They still do have active patients and are still managing patient care indirectly. So we'll see how that shakes out. Another super interesting story. The geek in me saw this and totally freaked out. I watched a bunch of videos afterwards. So there's a company out there that is now starting to master 3D printing of grafting materials. So it's a resorbable material, and I'm not 100% sure on all the technology if it's a resorbable resin material, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's a resorbable material that they are injecting with hydroxyapatite. And why is this so cool? Because two reasons. One, they've already done test surgeries in North Carolina specifically with implants to do grafting procedures in sockets post-extraction. The other cool thing is that the company itself was showing actually printed skull replacements. So if you had to have a surgery or had a traumatic injury, craniofacial defect as a result of a traumatic event, they can actually scan and print, CAD design a replacement for that particular defect. Think about what this does in the maxillofacial world if we can really effectively print a matrix of hydroxyapatite, essentially, for your own biomaterials to then go in and remake, to some extent, your zygomatic arch if you lost it due to pathology, or a part of your skull if you lost it due to trauma or some type of brain surgery. So we're seeing it in very small scale right now where they're printing these materials and using it for implants in dentistry specifically. So it's really cool that dental is part of this evolution of what 3D printing could look like for us as clinicians in the next, I don't know, decade or so. So I thought that was a really cool story. I'll post a link on that so that you could take a peek. And it also made me think about, are scanning companies really starting to look at that, at where 3D printing is wanting to go and design, and are scanners and scanner companies starting to look at what it means to scan more moisture-rich environments? Are they prepared? Is the technology there yet to be able to do an intraoral scan of an extraction socket or ridge defect? And then we could get, a printed bone material to replace that defect. So anyway, totally geeked out on that. In the last little bit of news, it's a bit self-serving for dentists in the know. You see, last year was kind of our first big year out on the scene, and we were incredibly humbled and honored to win Influencer of the Year with Dr. Bicuspid. Somehow, miraculously, even without me using the @everyone tag on Facebook, you're welcome, we still managed to get in the finalist group again this year for Dental Influencer of the Year. So I'm humbly asking for your vote. It was a great honor to receive that in Chicago at Midwinter last year, and we would be so honored to get your vote again this year. I'll post a link on our Instagram and Facebook pages so you can go directly to the Dr. Bicuspid website for a vote. And what's really cool as we continue to sort of make our way in the dental community, seeing so many friends and different communities that we support and are participating in also getting nominated as well. So it's always a really neat honor to even be a part of a really cool evolution in how we're communicating in dentistry. And with that, that's the news.